We found that there are some BIS standards to have 95% purity. 95% purity. So, is it really important, or it's just a regulation that have to follow?
Hello everyone. Welcome to another podcast of Aninoscape. Aninoscape is a platform where we engage with experts and professionals from diverse fields to have insightful discussions on contemporary issues. In today's episode, we are delighted to have with us an eminent expert of biogas sector, Mr. Ramesh Kikkeri. Mr. Ramesh Kikkeri is a prominent Mysore-based engineer, a passionate environmentalist, sustainable livelihood consultant, and a good Samaritan. He is widely recognized for his decades-long dedication to eco-friendly innovations, disaster management, and self-sustainable living. Through his work, he inspired many individuals, students, and communities to adapt sustainable practices, focusing on waste management, water conservation, renewable energy, and ecological balance. Today, we will be discussing with him various aspects of biogas sector, and we'll try to understand where the biogas sector stands today, what challenges remain, and opportunities lie ahead. So let's start the conversation.
Yeah, we can, no problem.
Okay, sir. Hello, sir. A very warm
Hello.
welcome to our Aninoscape podcast.
Thank you.
First of all, we would like to understand the biogas industry. You are doing lots of work on this sector, so congratulations on that. So to begin with, could you tell us about your journey to the biogas sector and what work you are doing?
Okay. This is a technology which has been done by ARTI, Appropriate Rural Technology of India, Pune. This is not at all my innovation or induction or whatever it is. It has been done by a gentleman there in Pune. He's no more. His daughter is taking care of it right now. Okay. So all the credit goes only to them, not to us. I think I have clearly mentioned ARTI Pune. If you look Google, so you'll get all the informations on that one. Now we have been
Okay,
trained
sir.
from NI College of Mysore. NI is the National Institute of Engineers. So we trained many people. Among them, I am also one among them. I have moved on with that one. Basically, if you look at if you just think a long time back, I think when Bush Jr. was there, he was talking about people in India and other places, they eat a lot of rice, so there is too much of methane coming out, and
Yes.
global warming and all those
Mm,
nonsense.
mm,
One single word, it's a
mm,
nonsense. Okay, they are not
mm,
worried about their cars, they are not worried about their aircrafts, they are not worried about their,
mm,
the other consumptions. But during those times, we used to think that, okay, fine, are we really emitting so much of, methane into the atmosphere and all those things? In the meantime, we understood that there is a lot of biogas available in all the biological degradable materials. Okay, that
mm,
means a cow dung, cow shits out, that also produces. The water
mm,
stagnant, which also produces. They have forgotten that on the water, if there's an algae, it produces oxygen also. And the
mm,
plant, the paddy plant itself produces oxygen also. So they have neglected it. But in general, if you're talking about the energy used for cooking, whole of India, you know, we started with using the wood, the firewood, we call it as firewood
mm,
and its accessories. Many places they started using charcoal, coal, then kerosene came. Okay,
mm,
all these modifications have happened in the last 50 years. My mother used to cook in firewood, then she shifted to the kerosene, then now she has shifted to
oh,
biogas. This era we have
bye.
seen. Now, fossil fuels, especially fossil fuels, I would still rate firewood as one of the best material for cooking food, provided that it is easily available and you grow firewood trees. You should not cut the forest trees, you should not cut the fruit bearing trees, you should not cut the flower bearing tree or fodder or fertilizer tree. There are some specific trees which is easily available throughout India, except in some regions of deserts, cold desert or hot desert or in Himalayas. Rest of the places, almost you can say that 80% of the places you can grow firewood trees or even the shrubs. If you meticulously burn it, that is smokeless chula, we call it. It has again been designed by Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. So even if you can use that, which I have built in many places, including Lumla in Arunachal Pradesh, everywhere they are using. Okay,
Yes.
whole of India. And if you look at, I'm just going away from the kitchen waste biogas. Please bear with me. Why it
No,
came
it's okay.
is
No
it
problem.
has to have a background, this thing. So using firewood, the manual labor is to be only by female. So that was a drudgery for them. They had to go and fetch everything. And even after that, these stoves were not designed so well that there used to be smoke, and especially in the cold season, they used to suffer a lot. So later, in the Institute of Science, they designed in a stove where there is no smoke at all, smokeless chulas. In a normal chula, the efficiency is only 9 to 10%. The stove,
Okay.
the smokeless chula designed by Indian Institute of Science reached 47%, which is one of the maximum in a mechanical engineering. It's a fantastic stove. Now, there it did not stop because convenience was very important. You have to store the firewood during the winter or the rainy season, all those things. So, what is the best way of storage and all those things? Then they thought of having some kind of fuel like kerosene. It came, you can store very easily, you can burn easily. Then it was not available. The kerosene smoke used to get allergy for many people, all those things, and also some kind of hazard. Then the LPG came in. So when LPG played a very big role, I think if you look at the transformation from kerosene to LPG was magnanimous. I mean, it happened like a click, whole over India. And if you remember, it was hardly 40 rupees, 50 rupees per cylinder. 64 rupees was what I paid. Now, of course, the economics changes. If you talk about gold rate in 2000 and gold rate now, you know very well. So similarly, the gas have increased, but earning capacity has also increased. Per capita index, everything has increased. Now people are affording the gas, and hardly for a family, you don't use one gas cylinder for 1 month. It comes for 2 to 3 months. We all know that for a middle class family. Now, this made easier for people. Now, from where you are buying the gas? So again, it's a fossil fuel, number one, and you are importing a lot. It's a burden on the country. So to ease that one, if you remember Khadi and Gramodyog, they started this cow dung biogas in villages, huge biogas plants. So everybody started understanding, yes, I can get some kind of material. So scientists worked more on that one, and then they started thinking of which one gives you more fuel per kilograms or per ton. That means biomass versus biogas. So then later they realized anything which contains fructose or sucrose, like sugar or sweet or inside that one, that gives you more biogas. Then this gentleman in Pune, Sridhar, he started working on this and he made a prototype and then a commercial viable middle class family size of 1000 liter tank with 750 liter tanks, and it has started working like anything. Small modifications have been done after that also. The biodigester has been added and pre-digester has been added, and all those things came into it's according to the convenience. But as such, there is no need of all these things. Every day your remaining cooked food or anything what you can eat through your mouth except citrus, that is lemon, orange, sweet lemon, like this citrus. Rest everything can be put into this one. Best thing is just to mesh it with your hand or something in a small bucket and pour it into that one, approximately 3 to 4 kilograms of solid. Immediate question comes, do you have 3 to 4 kilograms of solid? Yes. The peels of the vegetables, the stalk of the greens, some remaining your rice or chapati or whatever it is, and also coffee powder, tea powder. And if you go to any fruit shop, the rotten fruits, all these things, I'm sure you can get around 2 to 3 kilos. You have to mix another 4 to 5 kilograms of or 5 to liters of water in that one. Mesh it very well. It should have the viscosity of a kheer. Okay. Then that if you put it into this biogas plant, you will get around 2 to 3 hours depending upon the sunlight. If the sunlight is very good, you get more than 3 hours. If the sunlight is like nowadays in Mysore and all, it is very cloudy, you get around 2 to 2.5 hours. But initially, to get methanes adjusted to this food cropping pattern or whatever you feed, because all these methane are in the guts of cow. So initially you have to put cow dung into this biogas plant, approximately 250 kilograms of the cow dung without any grass or hair or any other substance. You can just put it in a drum and you can feel it in your hand and you can remove all those things, the green grass or the dry grass or whatever it is. This should be incorporated in the beginning. So what happens when you close this drum from the top, there is one into the other, immediately the gas started producing. But that gas will not have maximum methane. It will have all other gases like carbon dioxide and other those things. So your stove will not burn from the next 24 hours or next day or next 2 3 days. So every day, initially 500 liters, 500 liters you put and you just close the drum. You will have a knob on the top where the gas comes out. Close that knob. Every day the drum moves up because it's a free floating drum. The inside one, 750 liters. It goes up. When you open the gas, let the all gas go into the atmosphere, the drum slowly settles down. Then every day you start putting about 1 to 2 kilograms. That is just to feed an extra, of that 500 kgs. So you start feeding the cow dung again. And by say some 20-25 days, you can feel that the drum is every day coming and going up. From the nozzle, you take a pipe, okay, you just put your lighter, you can see the flame coming after 25-30 days. Okay, not before that. Sometimes it can come before that in a very hot area. Our calculation is around 25 to 30 days to get this methanization bacteria acclimatized to that particular zone. Then what you have to do is that from 25th day, you have to put around 100 grams of any kind of flour, like wheat flour, rice flour, or ragi flour, or whichever is available there. Normally, what we do is that we go to the dry grinding mills. We have got outside, so they will jhadu it. They'll sweep all this jawar, rice, everything, and that they will sell it to you. So that also you can come and mix it. You can put that rice flour, about 100 grams of rice flour, 1 kilogram of your cow dung, and rest of it water, say up to 4 to 5 liters. Then you start feeding. Today 100 grams, tomorrow 200 grams, 300, 400, 500. You reach 1 kilogram of rice flour. Okay. And if you imagine, you need only about 3 to 4 kgs. It's not very expensive also. So by the end of this 30th to 35th day, you can find a very good flame started coming. So that you can connect it directly to the biogas stove, because biogas stove is a little bit different than the LPG stove. The difference is that it doesn't have a small nozzle. You don't need too much of air into that one. And also the burner on the top, it has to have bigger holes. Number one, it is available in the market. Number two, this single stove, single LPG stove, you can convert it very easily. That I can talk about it later. Okay. Then you start feeding your kitchen waste. Initially, what you have to feed is only your remaining rice or whatever you eat, rice or chapati, all those things meshed and eat. Then you can start putting whatever you want, like whether you put biryani in that one, whether you put pulao in that one, or whatever the other things, bhajiyas, all those things. The main thing is that it should be meshed very well. It should not have a lump. The vegetable also, it should not be in a lump. The reason is the microorganisms, the methanization bacteria, microorganisms are so small, it is in trillions on the head of a nail. So that's it. If it has to consume, it should be very fine. That's the reason you have to mesh. If you don't put that also, it will digest, but it will take long time to digest. Okay. You take a chikki, this big chikki, and if you try to eat it, you feel difficulty. But the same chikki, if you make it small pieces and it is easier, right? Similarly, methanization bacteria will also get acclimatized. After that sequence of the first 30, 40 days, you can forget what you're doing, what you have done. From that day onwards, all you have to do is that I have shown in the pre-digester, there is a 50-liter drum. Your flowers used for puja or flower, wasted flowers, everything you can put into that one, minced very well. Okay. Then you can start putting about that mixed, the slurry. That mixed slurry, you have to put it about 8 to 10 liters into the feed. Every day you can enjoy with the gas. So this is the outline of this kitchen waste biogas.
Yes, that's a lot of things we can learn from these conversations. Now, I want to come to the context of India, this biogas industry. So, how would you describe the current state of biogas and compressed biogas in India? As let us say, government is taking initiatives of launched some initiatives to biogas sector, like establishing 5,000 plants of biogas across the country. But as you were saying, feedstock is an integral part of a biogas plant. So, do you think India has sufficient raw materials or these resources for such a large scale of program? What do you think about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll tell you, every person produces around 350 grams of wet waste. This is the norms from the government of India itself. And around 15 to 20 grams of your non-biodegradable, that is plastic and other things. 350 grams per head is the biodegradable waste per person. So almost about 1 kg there itself. And it is an average. Average they have calculated. If you are going around, you can see the chai wala who just throws the tea powder wherever he wants, or your fruit vendor, your vegetable vendor, all the rotten vegetables, you know where it goes. In fact, biogas to me is a waste product. Let us put it in another way. The best part is you're going to convert all your solid waste, which otherwise would have been on the dump yards, smelling a lot, creating a nonsense. In Delhi, you have, in Delhi, in many places throughout the world, the same scenario, even in New York also, the same thing. All these biodegradable can get into this drum, okay, and it can solve the problem. So if you think that is it available for about 4 to 5 kgs, I would rather say yes, it is available, because almost everybody has got a small garden, or he goes out for a tea, or he goes out for a breakfast, and some cooking material will be remained, all these things. Because in the pre-digester, what happens, the bacteria starts digesting then itself. The bacteria grows in the pre-digester, that 50-liter drum itself. Then when you shift it, it's okay. Let me tell you, I mean, I'm looking at the available, the source and production of the biogas. I don't know whether it is visible. Okay, you can just Google source oblique production of biogas. It's very clearly mentioned that meter cube of biogas from 1 ton substrate, that is a dry mass. If you put 25 ton of cow manure, okay, you get only 1 cubic meter of biogas. But whereas if you put food waste, which is 265 cubic meters, you will get from 1 ton. So that means food waste has got more biogas than the cow dung, then the pig manure, then the milk production residue, then your pig dung, then your leaf of the beets, potatoes, or chicken dung, all these things. The highest is old fats from the food industries, or even the bakery waste. Bakery waste has got around 714 cubic meters of biogas from 1 ton. And I think everywhere we have got the bakeries, and bakeries have to clean that area. They have to throw it out. Even if you're a known person, if you just gives a box to that bakery guy, he will say that I'll pick it up nearby your house. You go for vegetables, you go for fruits, you go for everything. So why don't you go for collecting waste also? Because that's going to help you a lot. And what happens if you're talking about the sustainability itself? This is Atmanirbhar. If you don't have to worry about gas, nowadays it's a big issue that whether the Strait of Hormuz is closed, Whether the ship comes, we don't know what is happening there, sitting in the corner of the Assam or Karnataka. But the paper, the news, everything talks about tomorrow there will be no gas. And the gas rates are going high. The commercial gases will be about 4,000 rupees, 5,000. All this, Hawks, newses, everything, it doesn't have to go to your brain at all. Because at your hand stretch, there is a gas. Your cooking is addressed. For all the family, whether it is a hotel, whether it is for industries or anywhere, cooking is very important, right? In your industry, they have got a canteen. And industry, they have a waste. I have seen a hotel in Bengaluru where they had called me for biogas. They are paying something like every month, they are paying about 10 to 15,000 rupees just to collect their kitchen waste. I told them, your precious kitchen waste, you are throwing it out. Now I recommended them about 2 cubic meters, 4 biogas plants. So 2 cubic meters, 4 biogas plant means 4 stoves in their hotel will run. So Atmanirbhar is, it's not just a word of, for the sake of, tagline or something. It can be done very easily, especially in a country like us, where our food habits is different from any other places in the world. Yes, please. I think something has happened. It's a pause.
I think some internet issue is coming up.
Yeah.
So, yes, yes. Okay, let's connect again.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, till Dharitri comes, I have one uh, doubt, one question
Yeah, please.
actually. Yes. Since we are talking about kitchen based this thing, biogas, so people are using, okay, directly people are using, right?
Yeah.
But whatever we are getting in the research or any articles, we found that it generally it contains some impurities. Like not only methane we get, it contains impurity also. So is it a problem there in that case also?
No, see, the end product is only what we are all thinking. Say, let us say that if you had not used this kitchen waste for the biogas, where it had been lying, where you would have thrown it on the garbage, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is
You
also a
nobody,
problem. Anyways. Yes.
right? So we are talking about biogas produced and that contains impurities, the gases or whatever it is.
Hmm.
See, using biogas and using a biogas stove and burning, you don't have any emission. In our kitchen, absolutely zero smell. No one knows whether we are using biogas or LPG. Okay, that much, zero smell or anything. Talking about the impurities, otherwise, if these kitchen waste have been thrown outside like a garbage, it would have been more hazardous than when it is contained in a box or cycle. It is regulated properly. That is why kitchen waste biogas is not very dangerous, or it's not dangerous. That means if you smell it or something like an LPG or something, it doesn't burst. There is no flame. There is no hazardous like that. As such, there is no other gas which emits into the atmosphere, which is more than what it would have happened if you had just thrown it into the garbage area.
Yes.
I hope you understood, right? If you
Yes,
had
yes,
just thrown it out, the same
yes,
gases
sir.
would have been produced. You are just recovering it.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, at this point, I would like to ask you another question. So, could you give us some insights in large biogas plants in India, like which are used for vehicle purpose only, for
Yes,
vehicles?
it is there already. You can just Google Satat. Satat is a this thing where Government of India has very clearly mentioned these kitchen waste biogas can be stored in the tanks and been sent to. In Mysore, we have got, I told you, NIE, National Institute of Engineering College, where all these prototypes for educational purpose, for training purpose happens. There we have already done a mini model of the Satat. This gas has been cleaned very well. That means it goes through a quencher, nothing. For my stove, nothing happens. But for the engine's internal combustion engine, you need a much more purifier. So all those purifiers are there in that, the process. And that gas has been stored in the bottles. They're using for car. They're using for two-wheelers, especially for two-wheelers. You can imagine. I mean, India has got more two-wheelers than the population, I think. So these two-wheelers, it has got a small 5-liter can which can be put anywhere in the two-wheeler, and that can be connected to the engine with some small modification. There is not too much modification which is required like LPG or your CNG. This is much easier. So with this modification, already it is running near Dodballapura in Karnataka. They are also taking the waste from the Bengaluru hotels and they're bottling it and they're sending it back the bottles to the hotels also. This compressing the kitchen waste biogas, Government of India has done a wonderful project of Satat. You can just Google and get more information on that.
Yes, we have come to know about the Satat initiative, also that
Yes,
Govardhan initiatives, these things.
yes.
So I would like to ask you one question about some upgrading technologies in those biogas plants. So they are using some technologies already, but do you think if there is any need to upgrade their digestive technology for some more yield or some purification purpose? What do you think about this?
It's an open-ended question. It's always there. See, if you look at, let me compare it to the petrol because this is what we read
Okay,
every day.
okay. Yes, sir.
Now, about 20 years back, the petrol grade was not so good, 20, 30 years back. Then they said it will be petrol, will be octane 93 grade. And they used to sell different. Now, after that, you can see even in the petrol bunks, you can say, in a special petrol or some green color, they put extra fuel and this is normal fuel and also. Now you can see that there is E20 where ethanol is blended. So these kind of upgradation is going on throughout the world. Okay. And when it comes back to your kitchen waste biogas, yes, that is also happening. It should happen. Rather, I would rather say that it should be compressed in such a, comfortable way where right now how LPG is being supplied through pipelines. I think you know that already the CNGs, for home, everybody is having pipeline. In Mysore, we have got pipeline, which is already in working. Now, no more those days of that cylinder wala has to come in front of your house. He has to unload that cylinder, bring it into your kitchen and put that, the gas top. All those things have gone now. So there is a wall, there is a meter, just like water meter, just like electric meter. He will also come. He will just take the note. He will send you the bill. That kind of things is already happening. Yes, I would rather say that the whole of India should make sure that they should digest all the unwanted biodegradable materials. Whatever, whether you call it as kitchen waste or biodegradable, I would rather call it as a biodegradable material so that it would help a lot in solid waste management. The biggest culprit of water contamination is solid waste. Once you start throwing dump this garbage, when it rains, through the leachates, through the unwanted, the biodegradation, all this leachate gets into the drinking water stream. by knowingly or not knowingly, we are contaminating the drinking water sources, underground or the rivers, the tanks, everything we are contaminating. This biggest problem of controlling or evading the solid waste getting into the water stream can be controlled very easily with this.
So we found that there are some BIS standards to have 95% purity. 95% purity. So is it really important, or it's just a regulation that have to follow like that? What is your opinion?
See, this BIS standard came only now. Biogas being used for the last 20, 30 years. So what happens, it is like any other industry. If you are having a small cart where you are making a chai and giving it for 10 rupees to the people, no BSI or standards will come. Once you have a cafe, you know, once you have all those lights, gates, everything, then all these people will come. Do you have fire safety? Do you have enough lighting? Do you have evacuation program? Do you have the proper ventilation? Do you have the dress code? All this comes later. At the end of the day, there also you are eating tea. Here also there also you are drinking tea. Here also you are drinking tea. Similarly, I have seen cow dung biogas plant about 50 years before, literally 50 years before, it was working. And I still remember, the Petromax. Do you remember that Petromax? The gas used to come through that. There was they used to call lintel or something, that used to burn and it used to give light to the house. It used to be hot. It used to be hot, but at least there would be light. Where there was no light, they have used biogas to light get the lighting and also for cooking. And most important, we have got Pinjarapole where these abandoned cows are taken into. 30 years back, not literally 30, 28 years back, I have done there was a biogas plant of 40 cubic meters. We connected that biogas because it is huge. There are about 3 to 5,000 cows. You can imagine how much cow dung comes, everything. So they had a huge biogas plant. That biogas, I connected it to the generator, and generator started working without any superior modification, simple modification of hardly 100 rupees. 100 rupees modification. And that generator is to provide electricity for all the workers, 40 families. They used to have cooking gas, they used to have light. At that time, I don't know, I'm not blaming anything. At that time, there was no BSI standard or anything. Yes, it is very much needed. When the traffic increases on the road, they'll put the traffic light. Okay? And there was no traffic, there is no problem. I could compare it to that.
Because I think I have got your point. So this purification standard, I think it's applicable for large scale biogas industries, I think, not for small scale industries.
Yeah, I would rather say that what happens if it is commercialized. What we are talking, me and you, what we are talking is sustainability for a family. So I have a kitchen waste. I am using it for my cooking. No problem. If I become a businessman, okay, I want to supply a 20 kg of biogas and my rate would be something like 1,000 rupees or whatever per cylinder. I would rather be not concentrating more on the purification. I would rather say that let the carbon dioxide go, everything go. The weight of the cylinder is 10 kg. I mean, whatever the kgs is there, I will get 1,000 rupees. Right? So at that time, this kind of purification is very much important because the business, I don't say it as a cheating. They have to survive on by hook or crook. So that time there should be a standard, and like what they have done it for petrol, octane rating, everything. For this also, yes, I would rather say yes, it should be only for commercial purpose. But when it comes to Atmanirbhar, when it comes to localization, when it comes to your decentralized, especially that is the right word to use, decentralized. Imagine in your hometown where everybody has got their own kitchen waste biogas, how much of your solid waste management will happen, how much of transportation of those gas cylinders will stop, how much of those hazardous movements, will stop. So let us address this. I would rather say it is a pyramid, bottom-up model. So at the bottom level, let us become self-sufficient. So slowly, the house becomes the self-sufficient, the community becomes the self-sufficient, the village becomes the self-sufficient, then the town becomes the self-sufficient. Then we talk about the country. But if you talk about country has to become, and that's why you have to follow, that will not happen.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So we have to now conclude this session. I will
Yes,
send you
please.
another link. Then we will
Okay.
reconnect it after 5 minutes. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Now we have reached the end of today's discussion. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights and for taking the time to be with us today. We hope to have you again with us in the future to discuss more important and exciting topics. We wish you all the best. Thank you once again. Well, what an incredible discussion that was. If you enjoyed the conversation, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe to our Any Noscape. Stay tuned with us for more informative videos and informative discussions on various fields. See you in another video. Thank you for watching.